She ain't trying to hike on my town, y'all. Raggedy ass train. Stop doing that.
Okay.
You want to talk about the brother?
Okay. My town ain't raggedy. My town got Rutgers. It got Johnson & Johnson. It got...
Here we go.
it got
Competition.
They got a little shit in there. They do. Clutching my pearls.
Clutching your pearls. Yeah, we in town. Just came from taking my test for my certification. Store processing technician test. Yeah, I aced it. Congratulations to me. I mean, 150 questions. I think I scored at 92%. Something slight. Yeah. Then I went to the halal shop. Got me a little couple pieces of meat. Pause. We went to the halal shop, y'all. It's Ramadan. Ramadan back and all that. We went to the halal shop, got some meat and stuff. Now we about to go get something to eat. Big Easy downtown. We gonna do that right quick. Yeah. That's when you know you're back in town. Feedy everywhere. Everybody tagging up walls. Hey y'all, this been sitting here for about 50 years. Nothing. It's been sitting there for a long time, just looking like that. Ain't never been built up nothing. We're in East Trenton now, y'all. We out east. People do a lot of videos on Trenton over the years, you know, since the advent of this social media. And so you've had a lot of these weirdo strangers coming to Trenton and do these videos and trying to just give Trenton a bad name. And look at all the pockets of despair in the town, which they do exist, in all fairness. But that's a lot of the urban areas, especially here on the East Coast, that went through that manufacturing drain, in the 70s. And Trenton was especially hard hit with that, you know what I mean? Because Trenton was a manufacturing hub. You had a lot of businesses here in Trenton. You had Bear Aspirin, you had American Standard, make the toilets. Congolian will also make the toilets. We had a lot of pottery companies in Trenton. You know what I mean? Rolling steel. It was just so many different, factories and manufacturing centers. And, when that laws came, Bill Clinton, he helped to, expedite that laws through the NAFTA trade deal. Trenton lost a lot of its vitality through loss of the economy. So this is what you got left. You know what I'm saying? So when people come in my town, they try to always, identify, what they consider to be the negative. They don't look at the impact of, how the economy in this country has changed. And that manufacturing loss, again, took a toll on Trenton. And with all that being said, there are still places in this town that are habitable, and that are welcoming, and and people who live here, they still take pride in the city. You know what I mean? That's why those of us who from here, we call it the town, because it's our spot. You know what I mean? I'm born and raised. You know what I mean? So, I can take a drive through Trenton right now since I'm here. And I can show you some places, some nice residential areas, but I don't need to sell it. I'm just, I'm recording this video and I'm talking my shit. But it is what it is. You know, for the good and the bad. This is just it is what it is. You know what I mean? These are the urban areas in the most densely populated quarter of the country. You know what I mean?
At the light, turn right onto Perry Street.
From Boston to DC, that's just what it is. Man. We right smack in the middle of that. You know, so yeah. Those people, I don't know if they take into consideration some of those things I just mentioned.
Turn left onto North Warren Street.
Warren Street. You know what I mean? They don't take into consideration none of that. You know. Yeah, she over here trying to talk junk because she, you know what I mean, she from New Brunswick. New Brunswick, you know, they got Rutgers University. You know, they've invested a lot of money in New Brunswick, into New Brunswick because of the university and the hospital, and so there's been a lot of money that's invested into New Brunswick that hasn't been invested into Trenton, because Trenton being the capital, you have, again, this is the base, this is the capital of the state, and so the capital, being as though Trenton is the capital.
This late.
Just keep going. The edifices that are, you know, capital and state offices don't contribute to the city's tax base. So unlike New Brunswick, where you have, again, even with Rutgers University being a state university, you still have Johnson & Johnson, a major corporation. Pfizer was there one time. Who else used to be there in New Brunswick? Well, Mama White used to work at Bristol Myers Squibb. You know, these pharmaceutical concerns.
Keep going straight, right?
Yeah. All right. So you don't have the same corporate base here in Trenton that you have in, here's the fire headquarters and stuff, that you have in New Brunswick. And so New Brunswick has a lot of, you know, money that's given to the city, and a lot of just economic vitality that Trenton just doesn't have at this time. And, you know, again, I can lend that to just the lack of creativity and vision for the people who are entrusted to lead this city. You know, the current mayoralty and leadership, they trash. You know what I mean? They garbage. So, I mean, they would want to believe that they have Trenton's best interest in heart and mind, but yeah, I entirely beg to differ, because it really doesn't have to be the way that it is. But again, it is what it is. But you know, it's still the town. You know what I mean? We up in it, and that's what it is, man. You know? It is what it is. I remember back in the day when, you know, back when it was a lot of, you know, I guess economic vitality in the downtown area, which is where we at right now. This is part of downtown. Yeah. You know, just the evolution of how things are changes everything. So, you know, I guess what I'm saying is what comes around goes around. It's always going to be cyclical, you know, economy, and, you know, there's going to be times.
Then at the next one, turn left.
There are going to be, you know, times of feast and maybe some times of famine. You know, because again, it's a cyclical nature of things. So yeah, it's all good. People have to have the concern and care too for where they live, and you know, so it ain't as bad as people would like to place it and put it.
At the light, turn left onto North Warren Street.
Somebody stole that and they replaced it. They stole it and they replaced it.
Where the hell are you going?
I'm gonna just go all the way straight down. So yeah.
The destination is on your right. Big Easy of Trenton.
It's gonna be after these two lights.
On what side?
On the right side, on my side.
Oh.
You know what I mean? this is downtown Trent. And again, like I said, it ain't as bad as some, it ain't as good as some, but it is what it is. But to all those haters and naysayers, and again, those people who make those videos and always seem to want to point out, you know, degradation and laws and just, you know, for clicks and views want to focus on, you know, again, negative impacts and things that have occurred. Do your research first, you know what I mean? Understand the historical importance of Trent and the economic importance of Trent after this next light, baby. Then we gotta find somewhere to park. See it right here to the right. See what say Big Easy right there?
Destination is on your right. Big Easy of Trent.
Yes, you can.
Arrived.
Boom. And we here where we supposed to be. So we pulling up, wifey parking. This Principal Resilience TV. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We about to get us something to eat. You know what I mean? And yeah, I might make another video, but we gonna park the wheel and I'm gonna get it y'all in a minute. All right, peace. I'm out.